Hi friends, Andromeda of Earth here, along with my family, writers in the back with my husband, and they're going to be eating. He's very talkative right now, learning new words all the time. It's really fun to listen to, so I hope you don't mind. Can be a jabbermouth and a little demanding. Sun in Capricorn with a Pisces moon, so I'm sure he feels very deeply and is very convicted about all the things. Good for him. Happy new moon in Taurus. It actually happened a couple days ago, so I'm sure we're not in Taurus anymore. We're probably into Gemini, which is a good time to talk about things, right? I pulled up a spread that I haven't used in a little while. A person who goes by the name of Escaping Stars on Instagram. First name is escaping me right now. Lots of brilliant spreads that they have created and share on their website. So if you're ever interested in some really beautiful spreads, Escaping Stars. I grabbed the Dragon Tarot today. I don't know why specifically. It's feeling very green, I think. I was wearing a green sweatshirt. My green, this t-shirt, Built a Barn at Rancho Relaxo shirt. I love this one. I haven't worn it in a while. But yeah, for some reason the Dragon Tarot just seemed to fit in. So I've just been kind of shuffling it, giving it some air. It's been a little while since I used this one. Definitely a lot of power and a lot of straightforward imagery in this deck, so I'm excited to use it. I welcome any and only benevolent beings to this space. Welcome any ancients and ancestors, any ascended masters, any angels who are in alignment with universal law and divine will. All others are banished. Welcome any friends, named or unnamed, who are here to help us for the most good of all involved. Hail and welcome. It was a very interesting type of energy that we had with the new moon, with the 444 day happening again, and Earth Day, all happening at once. How did you connect with the Earth? I was very just focused on like the physical, pure like pleasures, you know, just enjoying fresh water, you know, coffee, food, you know, time with my family, just all of that. Low pressure. Really been giving up the pressure I've been placing on myself. I think we all place pressure on ourselves to do things at certain times and be things and, you know, produce and do, be, you know, feel or not. We all know that's just stories that we tell ourselves. It's not truth. So what information do we need to know for this new moon and this new lunation in Taurus? Where am I on my path? The High Priestess. So let's see if we can get this Bebe in focus. There we go. Number 2 in the deck. This is internal power. They are, harnessing the magic inside the cauldron. I don't believe I've really looked at this card much. Nice, having the yin and yang symbol there, allowing us to really see the whole of the picture. Obviously the power of the moon being right there on top. And I love how on the bottom here we have the mushrooms there. I believe those are psychedelic type mushrooms, the ones that would be passed out like on All Saints Day, or yeah. Diving in, right? High Priestess. So it's, in our path, if you think about the Fool's Journey, begin with the Fool's Leap, and then they realize their power or meet the Magician, and that's a more of an outward kind of power. But the High Priestess comes in, and it's a very much more internal type of power. It's not holding light or dark, one over the other. Everything has a purpose. It's good to see the whole of ourselves. And what better time to explore the inner worlds, when everything else is so quiet outside. And the water is still, right? That's when we can really listen. I'm seeing the earth here too on top, which is interesting because we are right in that like earth sign of Taurus. But I really like how this is highlighting how connected we all are. And this consciousness that we're exploring is not just a personal consciousness, it's the collective unconsciousness as well. That's where we can really tap into. Holding the scroll right here, kind of like sacred. Makes me think of the Akashic records. I wonder, it's like they don't need to have it open. They just know what's inside. Maybe they've read it so many times, they just know, or maybe it's just so inherent in them. Language to a dragon. Human language to a dragon. It's just not required, more like debased, maybe. So exploring our High Priestess aspects. What is currently blocking my growth? and 10 of Wands. So this is definitely like a feeling of like overwhelmed. It's like it's too hot for the dragon. Too loud. And they've got all the passion and the heat available to them that they want, but maybe it's just like to the point where all the torches need to be turned off for a little bit. I'm gonna get, I always keep the Wildly Tarot deck close so I can look and see some other ways to look at these cards in different ways. It says overextending burdens and commitments. So being a 10, it is of the Wheel of Fortune archetype. Sometimes it doesn't matter, you know, how well you do. The baby's still gonna cry. You know, it's just the wheel, right? There's so many things we can't control specifically. And even though it may feel like a burden, you know, the devotion and commitment doesn't change. You know, the love of a parent, the love of your passion, you know, from yourself, that's a dedicated thing. And being a 10, you're like right at the end of that journey there. Maybe it's just too much. So something needs to end. Or something is ending, or something won't end. Is there, do you feel like you have too many projects going on? Are you extending yourself a little too much, burning the fire too much, overextending that way? It's definitely significant how they are covering their ears. You know, maybe what's blocking our path is that you just don't really want to hear something. You know, maybe something that's just said to you and it's pretty obvious to everybody else, but you know, it's such a noxious kind of statement or something we really just don't want to believe. And if we just maybe allowed ourselves to hear it, that might help us to move forward. Well, we're going to move forward regardless in one way or another, so may as well be the direction that you choose, right? What intentions can be set to facilitate this growth? So setting intentions. The Lovers. So here we have that yin yang again, acknowledging, you know, both aspects, the light and the dark. You know, the Lovers can signify Gemini, right? And it's number 6 in the deck. So that being a universal power, you know, one very, it is all about coming back to center. And I see a 6, I think of a sacred spiral. And here we've got the masculine and feminine dragons, or just the 2 dragons, right? I don't really say masculine and feminine because they're just 2 different colors, and I guess that's, you know, that's how we genderize things. You know, everything has a gender. I do have to say I really like the Silicon Valley's Lovers. It's a triangle of beings. You can't really specifically see or tell what gender, and it's just perfect. So anyway, definitely want to get that deck out again. But what intentions can we set to facilitate growth? So, figuring out what aspects of ourselves are maybe more on top of the other is the, let's see, let's look here. They both have hearts in their hands, so that's definitely saying something right there. Both the divine masculine and divine feminine, with you just really knowing and owning love. What is that love, that devotion? Are you able to hold the whole of yourself? So that'd be the divine feminine. You're able to hold the whole of your masculine doing self. Is this a dance? Are they going back and forth between who's on top? I wouldn't necessarily say that the purple dragon is male or the pink one female. They're both, very equal. I don't see any genderizing in the dragons, which is kind of great. But they are different. So setting intentions of balance and harmony and unconditional love, those would serve us for this new one. What knowledge can I gain to aid in the cultivation of my intentions? Two of Wands. So what knowledge can be gained? There we go. This dragon is setting out on their journey. They've got their idea, and now it's time to put one foot in front of the other. So how do you fly? How do you take that right foot, left foot part of your journey fueled by your passion? And this is being the Wands, a fire sign. Passion can either motivate or it can burn out. It's our choice. Of course we gotta remember what goes up must come down. Everybody needs to rest, right? That's why the left foot, right foot. Both of the torches are equal. Right? There's no one that's better than the other. Same thing with like consciousness and unconsciousness, right? It's okay to be unconscious. It is. It really, really, really is. No matter how much that word can be demonized. Oh, this person's so unconscious. Well, you know what? We need to sleep. That's important too. Let's check this one out from the Wildly Tarot deck. I love how it's color-coded, so it's really easy to find the cards you want. And they are talking about planning, internal discovery, and progress. So if this time, we're kind of like, if you're like chomping at the bit and really attempting to figure out what the next steps are, you really want to make those next steps, maybe we can use this time for planning and discovering internally. If we can't rise up physically, we can rise up within our own self. The choice is ours. What energetic themes will emerge during this phase? Cool. The Fool. So we're doing new things, we're starting a new journey, we are in the void. Have we leapt off yet? Are we still kind of clinging on? What are we looking at? This guy appears to be looking at their harp that's on the ground here. So he's like looking towards the music to be made. Yeah. He's got dice in his hand. It's like, I'm gonna roll the dice. You know, this dragon's feeling lucky. I love it. It's like they got the power of all of the suits behind them. I have a huge affinity towards playing cards. So whenever I see that, especially in congruence with a tarot deck, so yummy. There are different theories out there which suits correspond with what. I'm sure it definitely is determined on how you view the playing cards. The floor that they're on is like a checkered black and white. It's like they're walking on both the light and the dark. You know, they're in some sort of space, but they're also in outer space at the same time. So it looks very much like traveling through a doorway, through a portal. Beginning new things, making new harmonies that we're looking towards. Writing our own music and singing our own music. Doesn't that sound fun? Definitely enjoy the Fool. So 3 major arcana and a couple of wands. Very interesting. Definitely out of sync with the typical ratio of how things go when you draw cards. As always, I am here to just simply be a conduit to allow whatever messages need to be shown through the cards or what happens to come to my mind. I'm certainly never here to provide answers, I think, and I know and I trust that you can figure out whatever answers that you need to with where you are in your path. I will be making an altar with Reiki and crystal grids, taking some photos. I'll upload those along with some journal prompts and symbolism. So those will be up on part 2 up on Patreon. Thank you so much for being here, folks. Yeah, I love you.